Hello and welcome to the greatest Tamil science channel. I'm your host Vishakha and we're in conversation with Dr. C.K. Nandagopalan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vishakha.
Our topic for today is emotions. Our life is ruled with emotions. Our thoughts are ruled by emotions and that shapes our life. So emotions play a very, very large role in how our life shapes up, how we react to certain situations, how we respond to others, how others respond to us. And there's no way that we can, really remove ourselves from our emotions, from our thoughts, because every thought has an image and it has an emotion. Maybe emotion, maybe slightly less, slightly more, but there is a certain emotion associated with everything, every single thought that we have. And so it becomes paramount to our lives that we understand our emotions to understand why we are the way we are. And then maybe probably look at change, look at how we can change ourselves through controlling our emotions. So sir, I'm so excited about this topic today because there's a lot spoken about it, but I feel personally very little understood about emotions. I mean, a lot of it seems to say we should control our emotions, but the how of it is very rarely seen, or at least something that I have not found too much. So if you could start with, could you tell us what do we mean by emotion? What is this huge, unsaid, unseen aspect that is the emotion?
Yeah, the word emotion is a word from French to English
Right.
in 1600s. Prior to that, it was from Latin to French. But there are two major aspects for emotion. I don't know whether you have thought about this, but you would not have read this anywhere. Because nobody has written it properly anyway. There are a lot of works have been done after 1800s on emotions by the field of psychology and all that stuff.
Right.
Emotions are the key factor built within our system for survival. You understand?
Right, yeah.
When there is no emotion, then your survival becomes difficult to live a normal life. Completely going out of emotion is spiritual life. That is different.
Right.
Here, emotions are required for survival. The next aspect, the emotion is nature's hidden weapon in you to destroy the mankind.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Why do you think that if you take the last 2000 year history, you see the amount of wars?
Right.
That's aggression,
Aggression,
anger,
rage.
kill, grabbing treasure, property, land. You take Julius Caesar, you take Alexander, you take Napoleon, you take all those kings who lived in India, China. Even till today,
Yeah,
the military might. All emotion. It's all based on emotion.
True.
How do you fight in a war field? You are fully thumped up with your emotion to kill the enemies in periods. So it's a nature's hidden weapon. Nature uses mankind as a weapon with the quality of that emotion to destroy themselves and also the nature in terms of pollution and everything. This is what is your emotion. Yeah.
So to come to the association between emotion and the brain, so what is the connection? Which part of the brain is actually responsible for creating emotions or expressing emotions?
That limbic structure called amygdala, AMYGDALA, that's what they call that it is responsible for emotion, learning, memory and all that stuff.
Right.
Because this modern science always goes and sees reactions of the human brain cells and all that, and trying to localization of the brain, which part of the brain is responsible, what action and all that stuff. But it is not like that. When you are emotionally impacted, your 100 trillion cells are involved. When you are hungry, all the human cell wants glucose. So they all collectively together go request the liver, the brain. The signals come from the brain to the liver, and then the feeling of hunger starts. Then you search for food.
Right.
Like that, emotions are also, it is not only the brain which is involved, it is your entire body is involved.
Yeah, what you're saying is right, sir, because when we are angry, it's the entire body. There is more acid produced in the stomach. There is the lymph nodes react differently. So your blood pressure changes. So you can't say that anger, any emotion is only in the brain. It's definitely the entire body that's affected.
Yeah, one more aspect is emotions are again not the same. We have seen the concept of learning, concept of education, concept of memory, concept of long-term, short-term memory,
Right.
concept of aptitude, concept of intelligence, and all these things we have seen so far. It is not the same in everybody, right?
Right.
Same likewise, emotions are also not same in everybody. You can see people who are very soft, quiet, kind all the time. You can see people who get short-tempered. You can see people who are, very anxious all the time. It differs from person to person to person to person.
So you're saying, so each one will react to the same situation differently.
In a different manner.
In a different manner.
Different
Right.
manner. Okay. If there is going to be a doubt or something like a ghost and all that stuff, I may stand firm and gutsy. You may get scared and run away from there. So it differs from person to person.
Also, we ourselves, I think, at different times would react to the same situation differently.
Definitely, because each person is a different machine by himself. This is where the astrological signs come into action. Your birth, your planetary positions, which controls you, is different from one individual to another. So, according to which the emotion varies. That means, again, there is one study which has not been made in modern science, is the study of soul.
Soul.
Yeah. Because modern science believe that they have to see everything with their visual spectrum.
Yeah.
The soul we cannot see. So, they don't go into it. Because it doesn't come under the principle of science, so they don't go into it. All these concepts what we are discussing, this learning and education and memory and aptitude and intelligence, emotions, it's all soul connected.
Right.
It's all soul connected. So it differs from person to person. Yeah.
True. So is there, it's often said you are what you eat. So is there a relationship between emotions and the food we eat, our diet?
No, basically food and nutrition has got its own impact on your process of thinking. Because the thinker starts from the deep, from the spine,
Right.
inside the Akash. And when it manifests itself into the brain on the surface of the consciousness, it gets corrupted because of the acidic condition of your blood due to food and nutrition. This is process of thinking. Process of thinking is a separate function by itself.
Right.
And every thought is a matter by itself. It's not something in the air.
Right.
It is a matter by
It
itself.
is matter.
Ultimately, when you go to the quantum physics and quantum mechanics, there is nothing exists. Finally, there are only your protons and neutrons and electrons, and all those things are waves.
Waves.
You see only waves
Right.
in the air, in the empty space. There are waves. So here, that is also a matter by itself. Thought is also a matter by itself. But emotions are the outcome of your thinking process. You understand? Your thinking goes very strong. You are agitated. So what happens is this emotion, is a soul connected one. It is not the, then it later on comes to the body connection. So there is no food which is directly related to emotions.
Oh, there isn't.
No.
Apart from the food itself that makes you happy, but it cannot
No.
affect your
If
other
you are going to be hungry 3 days, you're going to get angry
Right.
because you're not getting food. So where is the food coming into picture? You understand that?
Yeah, true. Okay.
Simple.
So it's a myth that people who eat a certain vegetarian kind of food or a non-vegetarian sattvic and non-sattvic food, etc.
Food is food. There is no vegetarian or there is no non-vegetarian.
Yeah, you've
here.
said this before. Yeah.
Suppose if you are stuck in an island and you hardly get some non-vegetarian material to eat and survive. That's why emotion comes to survival.
Not
There, if you are a principled man of a vegetarianism or a man who stick to only vegan kingdom and all that stuff, there you will eat everything to survive.
everything to serve.
Yeah.
Absolute.
That's where your emotion comes into play and break all your thought process.
Beautiful. That is a great example, sir.
Yeah.
So what about the types of emotions? There are supposed to be 6 major types of them, but I would love to hear from you.
That is, there are actually the happiness is one, the grief, sorrow or sadness is one, 2. Anger, fear, 4.
Fear.
Then disgust, then
Disgust,
surprise.
surprise.
Then that is how they have this thing. You know, you have surprises leads to anxiety. Depression is one.
There's a scale of each from positive
Yeah,
to negative.
and then you know, I would rather portray that you know, the act of comparison lead to a lot of complexes, like inferiority complex is one.
Jealousy.
Jealousy is another. Yeah. So like that we can, if you want, we can divide and go. But emotions are one which makes both the brain and the human body, brain is also a part of the human body, it makes your entire body gets overreacted to a particular situation or incident. That is how that one has to look at emotions.
So what I hear you saying is that to study emotions on a certain scale of a positive or an anger or something is not really possible, because it's not possible to pinpoint a certain emotion at a certain time.
You
Is that
cannot
what-
expect somebody, one individual, how is he going to react to a particular situation? If you are going to bring in 10 individuals and individually you expose them to the same situation, 10 different individual will vary in 10 different manners with respect to the degree of strength of emotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are always told to calm our emotions or not to be carried away by our emotions. And is there a way, you know, that we can actually control our emotions?
See,
First, is it
emotions are the one which destroys you. When you are overreacted to joy or to sadness, joy is one thing which can help you a little. Sadness or anger or fear. Anger is the basic one.
Right.
Very, very, very bad. In the sense, like, there are so many chemical reactions. There are so many chemicals are given birth in the body, which makes your blood acidic.
True.
That is where you start going towards some illness. If you see people who get angry very fast and, you know, they are very, very egoistic, dogmatic and all that, most of the individuals who suffer paralytic stroke are the guys who get angry very fast.
Okay.
And most of the guys who get, you know, heart attacks are the guys who have lot of emotional fluctuation in frequent short span of times.
That increases and decreases their the
It
pressure on the heart.
fluctuates the whole thing. There is no rhythm there. The rhythm of the internal organs functioning gets very badly affected during any type of emotions. Yeah, every organ functions with a rhythm.
Right.
That rhythm gets smashed.
Same for a stroke, I've heard, right? For a brain
Stroke
also.
is the people who are highly egoistic. They want things this way only. They over-dominate the people around them. You know, they get angry very fast if things doesn't go their way. They dominate the whole family or family members and finances of the family. All that kind of thing, you know. Like you can call it as Hitlerism. Yeah, something like that. These are the guys who fall into stroke because their vascular normalcy is repeatedly affected with dozens and dozens of times in a day.
Right.
That doesn't help you.
So are there any exercises or any practices that a person can do to, I don't know whether control is the right word, but to make sure that we are not carried away by our emotions, not to go down that path?
See, this is where learning and education come into play. So, how exactly you educate yourself to refine yourself as a fine individual. Anger is required. Not that you stay away from anger. Or fear is required. You cannot walk into a fire saying that nothing will happen to me.
Yeah.
So it's all required. They are all part of your system. But if you take the entire human species, they are the only living things on earth, living beings on earth, who have this sense of ownership.
Right.
When I see a beautiful bird, I will buy a cage and put them inside. When I see a beautiful dog, I chain it up and put him inside. You know, I want to have a palace of a house. I want all gorgeous cars in front of my house. I want all the beautiful women in the world. I want all the gold and diamond in the world, you know. I will never get satisfied. From one, even if I become rag to richest, once I become the richest, I want to go further more. There is no end to it. So the greed is the one which is one of the important tools for emotion to get triggered. So when it comes to the question of what is the exercise, all this sense of ownership only the mankind is exposed to. Mankind is the only species which has the sense of ownership, leads to every level of self-centered activity. You follow?
Yeah.
We are always self-centered in our activities, in our behavior, in our thinking process, in everything, in our learning, in our education, all that. So what happens? The emotions is closely connected to it when you lose things.
Right.
When you don't get things, emotions are getting connected to it. The only exercise that a man or a woman can keep himself calm is to live a simple life. None of us will do that. You may have dozens of bedrooms in your house, each bedroom of 400, 600 square feet, all that kind of thing. There are statistics, you know, if you have a 10,000 square feet house, you hardly use 200 to 400 square feet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, if you have dozens of bedrooms and each bedroom has to have a king size cot, in one bedroom, in one cot, in one side only you can sleep. You cannot sleep in all the bedroom at the same time. So, what happens here is these self-centered activities are the one because of the sense of ownership, which is the only quality belong to the mankind. The emotions are highly associated with that. If you can understand this and make your life very simple, wherein if you're going to reduce the degree of your expectations, then you can avoid all kinds of disappointment, where you can keep yourself calm.
Oh, wonderful, sir. So it's amazing that you talk about leading a simple life. Just today I was reading an article about major Hollywood stars, a lot of them who lead very, very simple lives. They take public transportation and, lead extremely simple, wear very simple clothes, just have maybe one car, a simple Toyota or something like that, just this morning. So I can immediately connect to what you're saying. And if you look at people who lead a simpler life, they actually seem to be a lot happier. There's less written about them and, negative written about them.
More and more, if you're going to sophisticate your life, then there are many types of fear. The one fear is fear for others' opinion.
Biggest fear.
If I am driving a Benz today, I need to at least upgrade myself to another bigger brand.
Correct.
I cannot just go down and buy a small car, a small hatchback car and drive.
True.
Okay. So if I have a 1 crore rupee worth of car, then the next, when I upgrade myself, I should go to a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, which is 3 to 4 crores or 8 crores or whatever. If I'm going to drop down, then I am scared.
What will people
I am scared
think
of
about?
what the society will think about me. So these are the things which leads to a lot of emotions. which leads to depression, which leads to your degradation of the mental health. There you compromise your mental health. You get deteriorated with your mental health, which will in turn affect your physical health.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I hear you saying that with practice it is possible to be conscious of what we want and what we need.
Yeah, there was one ad those days. I don't know. You must have seen that. The white screen will come in the TV. There's a pen comes and draws a line like this, like a man. Like then there is a spectacle he will draw.
The Gandhi thing. Yeah, I remember.
The wordings will come. Like the greatness of this man is his simplicity. Let's try and find Gandhi in ourselves.
Right.
Something like that.
Lovely.
That is what exactly is the exercise to control your. Not emotions. To control, to understand your emotions. You cannot control. You control anything, it bursts.
It will burst, true.
Yeah.
So finally, what does ancient Tamil science say about emotions?
See, ancient Tamil science, if you take whatever literature is available with respect to the sociological structure of the society, they had a highly civilized society those days, many thousands of years ago, where lots of sharing was done. So, see, after all, a man or a woman requires basically food to eat, some clothes to wear, a place to stay.
Shelter.
This is the basics, right? This should be met.
Right.
Today, if you see, more than 40% of the 780 crore population is eating only one meal a day. More than 60% of the population of the 780 crores in the world is surviving meagerly with $1 or $2 per day. The entire wealth of this world is controlled only by a few percent. 2% of the families of the population. Okay, like that. If you take the rich families in India, it is more than the population of France. So disparity is there in the human society. People are deprived of many things, the basic needs, right?
Yeah.
That is the one which is creating all the problem all the time. Which also is, it's too much of emotional turbulences in everybody, everywhere. But the ancient system, the ancient heritage, the ancient highly civilized society had a harmonious sociological structure where people lived with love, peace and harmony, most of them, major percentage. There were warmongers were there, all those things were there, not that they don't have. But nobody was deprived of basic needs. So, major population was with emotional balance, I would call it.
Yeah, I think balance is the right word.
Yeah. Yeah. You can imagine small girls, they put paddy for drying in the open to sky.
Yeah.
The crows, birds may come and pick it up, So, these ladies, girls, small girls, young girls used to sit there with a stick. They just make a sound and don't allow the birds. Sometimes they take the hearing and throw at the crow or something, squirrel or something, You can imagine. Will anybody do today?
No.
What is the cost of your gold? So, that is how the ancient system, where I going through this literature, if you go through, I think they have lived with balanced emotions. Emotions are required.
Yeah.
Without emotions, you become a different, upgraded human being altogether. That we are going to discuss when it comes to the question of meditation.
Sure.
One of the aspects of meditation is going out of emotions.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you've really enjoyed this session on emotions, because emotions, while they are necessary, and every achievement that we do is related to emotion. Our relationships are related to emotions. But at the same time, as sir said, it's very important that these emotions are balanced, because they otherwise affect our health, affect our relationships and affect our life in general. Thank you for being with us.